Next up, we're looking at one of yours and Flora Jean's songs. It looks like a good example.
That's right. It's a good example. And this song was written for the Patch the Pirate series.
Oh, good.
And I thought this would be a good place to tell a little bit about how Christ-honoring music came into being with the Patch the Pirate. To get the full story, I would suggest that you obtain a copy of Shelley's excellent book called Always Only Good.
Good.
That's my daughter, our oldest, wrote that book. She gives the details of Ron losing his left eye in 1978 while he and Shelley were teaching at Bob Jones University, and how God took what Satan meant for evil and used it for good. Perhaps the highly sought-after series would have never begun without Ron having his patch. Show how God works things out. That same summer, Ron and Shelley lived at the Wilds camp in North Carolina, if you're familiar with that, to lead the music program. I led the music there first. I was on the board of the Wilds up until this year.
Oh, wow.
I decided about time. I've been on it since it began, whenever it was in 1978 or 77, somewhere around there. I was on the board until now, and I said it's about time I had somebody else take my place. In the fall of 1978, the two of them, Ron and Shelley, along with Ron's sister Marty, started traveling with me, sharing special music and biblical messages.
Good.
The same year, the Wilds Christian Camp and Conference Center held a fall banquet in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the organization asked us to come and provide special music for that banquet. On the trip up there from our home in Greenville, South Carolina, Ron mentioned that since he had been speaking to the young people as we were traveling, including some elementary school children at our meetings, he and Shelley would like to compose some children's music.
Good.
In fact, Ron had already started writing some Christian songs for that age group. He had already written a song for the doctor who removed his eye. That was interesting. The doctor in Atlanta at the college there had removed his eye, and the doctor's name was Dr. Bell. So Ron wrote a thing about it for the doctor called the Dr. Bell, You Sure Are Swell. Shelley and I took that and put Christian words to it and called it He's the Name, Oh Praise His Name. We put Christian words to it. And if you have our first praises book, by the way, some of you may still have that, you might have learned that one. It was number 12 in that book that Shelley and I wrote for that. That night, I was driving on the way to North Carolina, and Ron and Shelley were sitting in the back seat of the car. Ron proceeded to sing the 3 songs he had written. I will never forget his 3 Christian hero songs. Jonah, David, and Daniel. All are Christian heroes. Jonah, David, and Daniel. The lyrics demonstrated excellent character traits for youngsters to model themselves after.
Yes.
The tunes were catchy and easy for children to learn by rote. Ron asked me what I thought about them. I remember saying to Ron that night, Ron, those are great.
Yes.
We ought to do an album, and I will help you write some songs.
Good.
I didn't know that he was going to be a great composer at that time. He wrote so many after that, but that was just the beginning. Thus, by 1981, we had our first album.
Good.
It was called Sing Along with Patch the Pirate.
Oh, yes.
Several of Flora Jean's and my songs were on that first album as well, because I started writing too, same time.
Good.
This song, A Good Example, was written for the second Patch the Pirate album. Patch the Pirate Goes to Space is what that one was called.
I was thinking it was the space one.
I have no idea why this title was only in praises to, but not in any of our hymn books. I guess the people that Majesty Music contacted to see what songs they wanted in our hymn books, including the first Majesty hymns. They didn't ask for the Patch the Pirate songs. They thought they were just children's songs. So it never made it into any of them. But I'm putting it here because I think its message addresses a vital need today. Christian young people in the United States are turning away from Bible principles, while Christian young people in many other countries are giving their very lives for their Christian testimony, taking Christ as an example. Or you go over to some of the Istanbul and places over there where the Muslims are in charge. They give their lives for it, and Christian young people here are turning away from it. While there are many reasons for this falling away, I believe one factor is that young people are not seeing a genuine dedication to Christ in the lives of people who claim to be Christians. Sadly, many who claim the name of Jesus don't really live for the Lord. Even some pastors have turned away from the biblical truths they said they believed just a few years ago.
Yeah.
That is heartbreaking. We need some good examples for our young people to look up to and to follow. Perhaps the message of this song will remind our young people that they need people of their generation who will be a good example of real Christianity.
Yes.
The song itself is very direct and uses a simple form of parallelism all the way through. The music emphasizes that principle. For instance, measures 1 and 2 and 5 and 6 state the first part of the parallel. You can see that, and so that's why they are similar. And then in measures 3 and 4 and measures 7 and 8 give the continuation of the thought. That's what we call Hebrew parallelism. You don't have to use the word Hebrew, but it's still parallelism, where you get the statement, and quite often it's a continuation. Sometimes it's a clarification. Sometimes it's even a contradiction.
Right.
Isn't it? It's 3 C's. It's either a continuation, a contradiction, or a clarification of it. And you see that there. So that's why in the music, that's what we did, Shelley, or Flora Jean and I, not Shelley, but Flora Jean and I did with the music. Dum, 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 dum. Goes up to just a little bit over an octave. That gives the statement. And then dum, dum, da, 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 that clarifies it. And then you go, the next one, dum, dum, da, dum, 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 does go over an octave again to make the statement. And then faithful and true, see, then it just clarifies it.
Right.
Makes it have more meaning because of the continuation. Measures 9 and 10 make short statements. That's written down to the chorus there, with a musical rest on count 4 each time. Down at the right, down in the light. And that is, we put the rest in there to make it stand out, and to make it each time. And that's why measures 11 and 12, it's important in the parallel tense in measure 12 point up all the time. Someone is watching all the time. And that goes up in parallel tense to emphasize the all the time. And then you get back to that. Then you go to measures 15 and 16 to make clear how important the principle is, as the music has a rest after glow that draws attention to it and to the word shine.
Yes.
So now you have the music and the words. It was a simple song written for children, but children love this. Several of my own grandchildren, Pee Wee Pirate and Pixie Pirate, both love this song.
Oh, good.
Because they said they wanted to be a good example for Christ too.
Yes.
And I hope not only young people, but a lot of adults will say, I want to be a good example to my children, to any children who come to my church. If I'm the pastor, if I'm a Sunday school teacher, I want my life to speak to them. I want to be a good example for them. This song will help you to remember that.
Yeah, excellent reminder for us all.